Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you. Let me straighten this out a bit with yet another car video. I gotta look around here, make sure I don't get hit or anything. A lot of cars coming now. Anyway, don't worry about the women the next man is getting. Don't worry about that. And there were many things that inspired it. I ain't even want to get into that, but I'm gonna tell you what. If you out here as a man, don't worry about who the next man is getting. That's good, bad, whatever. Like, you got a lot of men, they want to see the women some guy online is getting them. For what? Even if they getting them, no matter what they getting them for, you not that man. You are not that man. Like, there was a guy, there's quite a few guys who will show videos of them, some woman walking up to them in the street. Okay. And, some dudes will say, well, that's fake. That's fake. And you know what? I don't even get into that. What good is that doing for you? That's the key thing. What is that doing for you? How's that helping you out? Okay, another man getting it, whether it's fake, whether it's legit, you ain't that other man. Or another one is well worried about where another man is sticking his dick. Because I remember years ago when I was going out with this nice young lady, younger and everything, we did a car video together. I took it down because, well, me and the young lady ain't going out anymore. But here's the thing. I had a guy talking about, I could get you a better woman. I'm like, what the fuck this motherfucker worried about where my dick going? And I kind of said it to him. Maybe not as raw to him, but, like, what's your issue with it? Why you concerned? You don't need to worry about it. I'm the only one that needs to worry about it. Like, if you see another man like I saw a comment about, in my health section, I ain't let it go. In my health section, they were talking about some guy getting with some woman, talking about unanimously wouldn't get their dicks hard, right? Unanimously, right? I'm like, apparently it gets that dude's dick hard. Look, I'm going to tell you something now. Don't be that voyeur type out here. Don't be that type out here worried about what another man is doing. Because you got to worry about your game. Your game. What you doing. Like I've mentioned a few times, I've had guys would say, well, we try and talk like you, try and do like this. You not me, though. Unless you look exactly like me, have my exact life experience, can speak like me. Unless you my clone, you don't worry about it. You don't worry about it. And in fact, many people have called my youngest son my clone. But he will still get women differently from what I did. It is what it is. Only thing a man should be concerned about what works for him. Now, he can get a perspective from another man. He can definitely get that. He can always get a perspective. But at the end of the day, he got to have his own game. Even I've said that. I said, look, I can tell y'all whatever, but you need to go out there and figure out what works for you. What works for you? Like body game. I've said different bodies work for different people. Like, you get some other dudes on here talking about body game and they showing their body. Okay, that might work for them. But you get some women, they like a slim man. You get some other women, they like a big old brolic man. Like I always mention this one young lady, I don't know if she still watches these videos, but she liked a big clinically obese man. She liked a big old stomach, even though she was all small. Only thing a man has to do, ultimately, no matter what he sees somebody else doing, no matter what they getting, is worry about himself. Even these guys out here talking about some Chad and Tyrone. Okay, Chad and Tyrone get whatever. Why don't you get whatever? In fact, I'll use another story. You know I got a ton of them. This guy I worked with on one of my 1,000 jobs. Got a lot of stories about these jobs. Anyway, this dude was a known player. This dude was the type who can get most women. But then he would start checking out a certain type of woman. Now, I remember on this job, this certain type of woman was checking me out. And he was acting jealous. And I'm like, for what? You get yours. Why are you worried about me? Why are you worried about what I'm doing? You getting yours. See, one of the problems is you got a lot of guys out here on some voyeur shit. They worried about it. Because I remember this one guy, and I could call his name. I'll just say he's from a famous family. And I knew him when I was at American University. And this dude had a high count. And you could kind of tell it. But he had a whole group of men who were basically his fanboys. And they were getting off on what he was getting. And I'm like, I heard him tell me. I was like, okay, cool. Whatever. And that's one of the reasons me and him were cool, because I was like, whatever. They ain't helping me. How's they helping me hearing about what you did to another woman? But see, a lot of guys out here, they ain't getting anything, so they want to live through another man. They want to live vicariously through another man. I can understand it in a bit, because there was this dude I knew. He got with this young lady from Crete, the nation of Crete. And, man, she was fine as shit. And he got with her. I was like, dude, just give me a play-by-play. That's how fine she was. But for the most part, though, I'm like, whatever. How's that helping me? How is that helping me? And that's how you got to be out here. Don't worry about it. And if a guy get with a woman and you think she unattractive, okay, good. You think she unattractive. Okay. He thinks she attractive. Or whatever you think. If his dick get hard, that's all that counts for him. Why you worried about it? Like that dude, when I had that young lady doing that car video with her. This was years ago. Like I said, don't try to look for it. Me and her ain't dating anymore, so. But he said, hey, Uncle Rom, I can get you better women. But hold up though. If I'm with this woman showing her in a video, apparently I want to be with her. Apparently I don't have an issue. Oh, let me just say something, because I'm passing like this school, these young people. They kill me with these pajama pants out here. That's just something. I just hate to say that. That kills me, because I'm still old school. I see some women, even some older people in pajama pants. I'm like, damn, y'all ain't put on y'all regular clothes to go out. But anyway, I digress. Damn, girl, you got that big fat old ass. Look like a BBL on an old one. Anyway, right? Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You don't worry about the next man. Only time you be concerned about the next man trying to get at your woman. But then if she trying to get, let me get y'all some game with that. If she trying to get at your woman, what is your woman doing to give him the idea he can get with her? How come your woman ain't telling him she got a man? Keep that in mind, all right? Keep that in mind. Don't get mad at the man, because the woman, all she got to say is she got a man, and that's it. All right? Yeah, a little bit of game right there. But getting back to the original thing of this whole car video, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that next man. I don't care what he look like. I don't care how many women he get. I don't care whether, like, she could be fine, she could be ugly, whatever. If he with her, he with her. Don't worry about why. In fact, I'll throw out a name out there. Russell Wilson. Because there's always somebody talking about Russell Wilson getting with Sierra and whatnot. Man, it's like, Or he a simp because, you know, he up there dealing with a woman who had Future's baby. Who gives a fuck? Seriously. Why are you worried about that? As long as they good with it. You ain't in their bedroom. You don't know what the deal is. Shit. If they good with it, whatever. How's that helping you? See, here's the bottom line with it all. You got to think about what you going to do. Instead of worrying about how the next man getting a woman, instead of worrying whatever she look like, worry about you getting a woman if that's what you want. Now, if you don't want that, fine, okay, fine, that's just as fair. But if you do want that, what you doing? What you doing to get a woman? What you doing to fix up? You hitting the gym? You letting the barber bless you? You fixing up? You developing your style? There's plenty of women. You ain't gonna get everyone anyway. In fact, you'll get a situation where you get one woman, she might like your buddy, but think you ugh. But then you get another woman, she think you the man, and she think your buddy is ugh. Think about it. I want y'all to think about that. Like, you don't worry about that shit. You don't be tripping over that shit. You get who you get. I mean, seriously. You don't be tripping over it. See, don't worry about it. That another man gets a woman, don't be trying to get all up in his shit. Even if he's your buddy, don't really try to get up in his shit. You know? Like I mentioned that earlier thing with me, that dude still he ain't tell me. It was just like, damn, why even tell me? He was like, why even tell you I got with her? And really, he really didn't. I just had to figure out some shit. He was one of those players, if he was around a woman long enough, he was like, yeah, we all assumed he fucked her. So, it was what it was. He's one of those dudes, if you go by what he tried to actually tell you, you ain't think he'd get with any. That's something else, too. A lot of players, this is another tangent, a lot of players be low-key. They don't be telling you shit. Because they operating in the shadow, so they got to be quiet, because they be doing some women who got boyfriends, they be doing some women who got husbands, so they be low-key about this shit anyway. But I digress once again. Look, as a man, you don't worry about the next man. You worry about yourself. You fix up. You worry about it. And if the women ain't slowing you to play, okay, don't worry about what that next man is doing. It might not work for you. It might not work for you. Like, I talked about that time, and I might have talked about it. It might come up in a video, sit-down video I have next week. All this stuff gets, like, backed up and confused at some point. But there was this guy at this restaurant, we'll call him Javier, who was getting all these women, but he was dressed a certain way. And these guys came to the restaurant, the club, the next week, dressed the same way, trying to get attention. It's like, it don't work. It don't work. At least for one of them, he had to be suited. That's when he got attention. That's when he got attention, when he was suited. See, one thing in this thing of ours we call game, you got to figure out what your game is, what works best for you. Like body type. I'm always talking about body game, but like I said, for some dudes, they can be slim and get some women. Some other dudes, they got to be big and brawling. You got to figure out what it is. Like I've talked about before quite a few times, the boiling point. You got to figure out what's your particular boiling point. What's the boiling point? And I'll put that video I did with Shophar in the description box. And see, that's another thing too. Me and Shophar. Shophar's a slim dude, but he be getting women. And in fact, when we was walking around out in San Diego, a few times I go out there. Sometimes I get some attention from the ladies. Sometimes he do. It is what it is. You got to figure out what works for you, and then you got to be comfortable with it. Because, like the height thing, 97% of the population, male population, is not going to be over 6'10". It just ain't. Are you going to go the rest of your life worried about it, or are you going to find what works for you? Are you going to be one of those dudes who might be short stature, but it's like, oh, okay, well, I ain't 6'2", I ain't over 6 feet. Might be 5'5", figure out. And I've told you before, I've known some dudes, and known of some dudes who weren't that tall, but they just fix up what they got and went on with it. Like that dude, nicknamed Caveman. That dude was 5'5", 130. And he would purposely go for women who were 5'10". In fact, let me go on another tangent. I saw this dudes. This is one of those interview things. This dude was interviewing these guys about the type of women they were going for. And they were like, yeah, we'll go for a tall woman. Short stature guys really don't give a shit. They like whatever. But they just working with what they got. They ain't up there crying. Now, unfortunately, you got a bunch of guys crying. It's like, I ain't that tall. I ain't that handsome. I ain't that built. I ain't that lean. Dude, as a man, you can fix up whatever you got and then see which women like it. Because as I always say, I say this constantly. And I will keep saying it. I will hammer this in. Women like different types of men. All a man has to do is be his best version, and go from there. Okay, they're gonna have road work around here. They always doing some road work around here, but they got a little bit of money around here. You notice that if this was like a poor area, they probably wouldn't have road work. Shit, there's parts of the country where people rolling over potholes or something. You know, I've been did a lot of tangents on this. You know, if I did, I might, every now and then I think about a channel just doing social commentary, just doing it. I'll keep that in mind. Don't get in the comments and ask me. You know how I get. Don't try. If I do something, it's only because I want to do it, okay? But getting back to the main thing again. Look, don't worry about the other man. You can't, because you're not that other man. You don't know what they doing. Even if you watching that other man and what they doing, you still not that other man. Because while you watching that other man could be watching you. While that other man is getting certain women, you might be getting certain women that other man wants. All you had to do is worry about yourself. That's one thing in this thing of ours we call game. You got to have your own game, your own style, whatever. It's just like the analogy I always use of basketball. You get some people who can shoot that three-pointer. You get some people, their game is just going to the hoop. You get some people, they can just play that great defense. Some people, they can rebound like crazy. They just focus on what they can do. When you up here in this whole game of man gets woman, you got to work on what you got. Look, you might not be like that big old dude. In fact, I'm gonna share, I've shared it several times, that video of this comedian under a lie detector test. And he said his count was 150. 150. He definitely wasn't a Chad. He didn't look super handsome. But he probably made the women laugh. Laughter is good for women. He was able to get he apparently more than anything found his tribe. That's all that's important. That's it. That's all that's important. You focus on what you can do. You don't worry about the rest of this bullshit. All right? Don't worry about the next man and what they can do. Focus on what you can do. Just you. Just you. All right? Anyway, gotta go here to the post office. Always gotta get some. Anyway, y'all. That's all I got for today. Yeah. Oh. Okay. It's the fire department. It's the fire department. So anyway, focus on your thing. Focus on your thing. Don't worry about the next man. Don't worry about if you're getting a fine woman, don't worry about it. If you don't like the woman he get, who cares? It's his dick. Why you worry about where his dick is going? Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. The most you can get from another man is maybe a perspective. And even that's why I say even for what I might talk to you about, go out and see if it works for you. If it don't work for you, shoot, there's other guys telling you some stuff. There's other guys who got a method. Go around and find it. All right? But ultimately, even with them, even with all of us, you got to find what works for you. Don't worry about it. Don't get jealous of the next man. You don't know what he did. Shoot, even a broke ass dude. You don't know. Maybe he took his little bit of money and paid that one. So you don't know. You don't know. So anyway, I'll get back with y'all tomorrow. Peace.